Hey, this is Rob Roy, the plant-based prepper, and as promised, I made some seedling trays by hand without using any power tools this weekend. So I'm going to show you how to do it and what materials you'll need. You'll need a straight edge ruler to draw lines and to measure with, measuring tape, hammer, pencil. These are the nails that I bought that worked out great, 1-inch paneling nails. I bought this little gadget here. It's a guide for your saw, and it comes with the saw. So it'll make straight cuts. You just lay the boards in here, and you can push this against the table. It has a lip on it to keep it snug while you're cutting. Some gloves to be safe, not saw your hands off. Some glue. Elmer's glue, school glue, works just as good. That's what I use for my pegboard, and it's still holding up. Some clamps to clamp the wood pieces down while you're cutting them long ways. Nice sharp saw to cut by hand for the long cuts. And then you'll need, this is what I use. This is only $1.50. It's a fence piece of wood, slat, whatever you call it, 1x4 by 6. Only $1.50. And it's really lightweight, soft, easy to work with. And then you can buy the paneling. Comes in 6 packs. It's only like $11, almost $12 at Lowe's, and comes in a 6-pack. They're real thin, 1/4 inch, and this is what you need for the sides and the bottom. And then you need 2 pieces of this for the sides. So you're going to cut, use 2 of these, and you're going to cut 18-inch lengths. And I believe you are going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pieces, 18-inch lengths. So you need 2 of those 8-foot pieces right there. And then the fencing on the side, 1x4s. It's going to be 17 7/16 length to accommodate for the 1/4 inch. If you want 18-inch squared, you just need 2 of those pieces, so 1 will be fine. I always buy more than I need in case I mess up, and which I did a few times. So that way you have a few scratch pieces. And here's the 2 I made, and you see how they turned out. So I made one almost perfect. I mean, there isn't any problems with it. It looks just as good as the one I use with power tools and a table saw and a miter saw. So this one turned out really good. And then I made another one where I messed up when I was cutting with the saw, and I went down on the blade. So all I did to accommodate for that is I made these grooves a little bit wider. That way this wasn't too wide at the top. Still work, not perfect, but if you're doing it by hand, you'll get better at it as you go, and you'll learn. But these are fine. I've got 2 more. I've got 3 over there, and I am going to make 1 more. I have enough wood. I don't want to let it go to waste. I'm not going to use these for anything else, so I'm going to use all these up and make some seedling trays. That'll do it. Let me show you what I did. Hey guys, I'm at Lowe's, and I'm going to show you what you need to buy in order to complete your seedling trays and your pegboards. So just follow me around. When I find them, I'll show you. Okay, this is what I found first. This could be used for the sides of the trays right here. It's 1x4s. The actual size is 3.5 by 6 feet, but look, it's only $1.47. These will work just fine. They're lightweight, very soft. If you have to cut these by hand with the saw, it'd be easy to do. So you can use these for the sides of your trays. So this is what I got. I got some of these, and you can use them for your pegboards too. It's exactly what I used. Now, if you don't want to use that, you can also use what's called whitewood resawn trim board. 1x4, see the actual is 3.5 inches anyway. So I did get one of these. And if you get a 10-foot, it'll make 3 trays. Just find one that's straight, and it's called resawn, so it's a little cheaper. And the reason for that, this is trim board. You can see the back was sawn again, so it was reused. So that's another option right there. Now, if you want to get the other one that's people were posting, it's down here. So they also have 1x4s right here. Same thing, it's just not resawn, it's 667. So if you have a truck, get a 10-foot. It'll make 3 seedling trays. If you don't have a truck, you limit the space, try to get an 8-foot or a 6-foot. You just have to get more than one. So those are 3 options for the seedling tray sideboards and the pegboards. All right, now let's go find some dowels. All right, here's the aisle with the dowels. Now you want to get a 1/2 inch, and normally they're right here, $268 for 72 inch. Now I wanted to get one like this. They only had one left, and it's beat up. It's cracked. So I couldn't do that. That would have been the cheaper route right there. So instead I had to go with the smaller ones and get multiple. We're looking for a 1/2 inch, 3/4. Here it is right here, 1/2 inch by 48. So you want to get these. They have the green at the end, and I had to get 4 of these in order to make 48. Actually, I made 64 pegs. I did an 8x8 square of pegs. That equals 64, and that works out fine. So that's where you get these. You're going to spend a little bit more, $1.78 per, and you need 4 of them. Now, if they have this one 72 inch, go ahead and get that one. And you can cut these down the side 2.5 inches each, or I'm going to show you where you can get them on Amazon if you don't want to do that work and sharpen them. Just buy the 1/2 inch by 2.5 pegs on Amazon. There's 100 of them for $20 with free shipping. That will save you some time and work if you don't have the tools to do it that way. So here's where I got my planks, 1198, 3.56 by 8 foot by 31. So they're really thin. So these are going to be used for the bottom of the seedling tray, and 2 sides, one on the left, one on the right side, and the bottom of the seedling tray. They're real thin, and you get 6 of them for almost $12. All right. That's what you need. If you can't find a 6-pack like this, it's going to be more expensive if you buy them individually. But this works fine. All right, so those are the materials. Doesn't add up to much. Now, if you don't have the tools, I'm going to go home and actually make a seedling tray and make my 8-foot long marker by hand. Something like this will actually help you too, because you have to drill those 1/2 inch holes, and in order not to go all the way through the bottom, this will stop it from going through. I messed up on mine. Some of the holes went all the way through for the dowels. So I'm going to get this because I can use this for other projects. All right, I found the flags they have here. This is what I use to mark my plants for the garden. They have different colors here. You want to get a light one so that you can see your marker on here, your writing. The green here, I have a lighter green, but you can see if it'll work. You get a bunch of them for just $2 to $5. There's some more. And then just get a marker and mark on the flag. Hey, I'm just leaving Lowe's. I picked up some more supplies to build some seedling trays. I needed some more wood, and I'm gonna do it by hand this time, not using power tools because not everyone has power tools. While I'm in traffic here, for some reason, I want to share with you some tips when you go out if you're a veteran. Now, Lowe's has front row veteran parking, which is nice, and they also give you 10% off. Bring your DD214 the first time, and they'll put you in the system, and then you just give them your phone number every time. So it's really nice to have. Home Depot does it too, but they don't have the front row parking, and Home Depot has lines outside all the time now. So I actually drive to Lowe's, which is a little further away, but I get in and out a lot quicker. I recommend, if you're a veteran, wearing a hat. I did not know about any of these discounts, even at restaurants and other department stores, until I started wearing a hat. Went to a gun show one time. Outside there was a veteran selling hats, and I bought one to show my support. And ever since I started wearing this, I started getting reminded about it. People just ask, are you a veteran, at restaurants, and you can get a discount. Now, a lot of them won't give you a discount unless you have your D214 on you, which I don't carry around. So when I renew my license, go to the veterans office, bring your DD214, they'll verify it, sign it, you bring it to the DMV, you get the veteran stamp on your license, and then you don't have to carry around your DD214. Much easier that way. And then when you're at a restaurant, department store, you're traveling, you can just use your ID to verify you're a veteran. But definitely wear a hat. I haven't worn one. I started wearing a veteran hat probably a year ago, and it's nice just to be reminded. And I also get kudos from other veterans. They ask if I was a veteran. We start talking, so it's a conversation starter. A lot of them come up to me and ask if I'm a veteran. They're not wearing a hat or anything, and I wish I had one to give them. So next time I buy some, I'm going to buy some extra. That's the best gift I think you can give a veteran, because they'll get reminded of discounts and honored for their service. So I appreciate people that thank me for my service, and I also want to thank those that have served the country and made the ultimate sacrifice, that are still in also. So Memorial Day is coming up, so I just want to put that out there, and hopefully this helps you guys. Thank you again for your service, and have a great holiday, and show your support. Two of these. Two of these. Me. There's the sides. This one in is just a little bit, but this wood is so soft, easy to work with, that you could just sand it by hand, and it takes out some of the imperfections. But this will be the bottom, so where water could drain anyway, so it doesn't need to be perfect. The top is perfectly straight. There we go. So I got the two sides for another 10-inch rake. Now I have all my 18-inch pieces done right here, right there. And what I need, 2 3/4 high for some of these. So right now I have 2 of them. So I got these 2 for the sides of the grow box. That's complete. Now for the bottom of the grow box, I need 2 large pieces, which you already have. You don't need to cut at all. Just leave them the same size that you buy them in, the planks. So we got 2 right here for the bottom, and then what I'm going to need is 3 at 2 3/4 inches high. So I need to cut one more 18 inches. I need 5 total for the bottom, and I need 3 of them that are the same size as the sides, which is 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut another one to length, and then cut all 3 of these at one time for the height, and then leave these for the bottom. Marked 18. Go right here, push it against the top right there. Start cutting, make sure nothing's in the way of the saw. Okay, so I'm going to push it that way, and it keeps it secure. All right. Just let the saw do the work. When it gets to the end, it might get stuck, so then you just do what I said. I'll show you right now. Okay, it's all the way to the end. Alright, so when it gets kind of to the end where it doesn't want to crack or get stuck, just put the saw here like this, slide, and it'll come off. Okay, instead of, if you keep going that way, the other piece is going to try to come up, and it might fray some of the edges right here. So just do that when it gets to the end, and you'll know because it kind of hits the plastic on one side, but it makes a nice clean straight cut using this thing. So I like it. So now I got all my pieces here for the bottom. 4, 5, right? So these are all the original height. So I'm going to cut 3 of them to this height. So I'm going to mark it, and I just chose to cut off the lip portion, the male end, instead of the female, the groove. That's, you know, it doesn't matter, I don't think, which side you use. So, but staying consistent, since I started with that side, I'm going to make sure I use the same side throughout. So let's mark one of them. You just have to mark the top one because you're going to cut them all at one time. This right here is a really nice saw. First time I actually owned a saw. Craftsman, very sharp. And this wood is soft. Like I said, it's easy to work with. That's why I went with this fencing. And let's just get it started, and then we'll be able to move the saw that way. Try to keep the blade next to the side of this so you do a straight cut. I didn't do that last time and it kind of went out. And you want to try to do all the way down and all the way up. I can't do that yet because of the clamp. So once I get going. Well, I didn't know my phone was about to fall. Even this side is not perfect. The side I didn't cut, see, with the groove falling apart. This type of wood is so flimsy. Even when I was cutting this with the table saw or the miter saw, sometimes I get some frayed edges right here, some splinters. Just because this wood is just easy to break apart. So still pretty good for doing it by hand. Alright, so I have the bottom pieces. Like I said, you need 3 of them that are 2 3/4 high. And then you need 2 of them that are the original width. And I don't know what I can tell you real quick. But I did not cut the width of these. 3 1/2. So just leave them 3 1/2. Just cut them 18 inches long, and then 2 3/4, which is just like the sides. So we got the bottom right here, and then we got the sides we're going to put together. What I'm going to do is start the nails. I'm going to start the nails first. 3 nails on each corner. And you have to be careful not to split the wood. So what you want to do, start slow. Make sure this is pretty pressed against the bottom piece pretty firmly. So there's no gap, no play in it, so it can rattle. If it starts to rattle while you're hitting it, it'll split. So just make sure it's pushed pretty tight. Put it on the corner. And just drive it in slow at first until it gets through. You want it to get through like that, okay? And do the other side. Alrighty, let me get my glue. Put the box together first. Alright, all I'm using is school glue, Elmer's. And I know this works because I used it for my pegboard. I'll go get it real quick. My pegboard I used just regular old Elmer's glue. And these are barely in there, and these are pretty strong. They're not moving. So unless I really yank it and hit it hard, it's in place. Alright, let's just do one at a time. See, you can just push this in once you get it straight. Push it in like that by hand. This wood is pretty soft and easy to work with. Okay? So I have 2 more. I have 3 hanging up, and I have 2 right here I did by hand. And I may do 1 more, and that'll do it for me. So that's it. I hope this helps you out, showing you how to do seedling trays by hand without any power tools.